Senator Leach, because did you not hear him give acknowledgement to all of the women that also made a difference? I mentioned that the deltas are going to be 100 years in another year. Well, there's another organization that just a short few years later came into being. That was the League of Women Voters. And we want to welcome Olivia Thorne as my younger sisters plan to celebrate their 92nd birthday.
Don't tread on me. That's the voice of the League of Women Voters, speaking for more than 750,000 Pennsylvania voters who could be barred from having their votes counted this November. The right to vote is our most precious right. We have scars to prove it. Our mothers, our grandmothers, and our great-grandmothers protested for decades to guarantee suffrage, the right to vote and to run for office. Some were thrown in jail, some were force-fed and ostracized by friends and family. The League is appalled by this sudden erosion of this most essential constitutional right. Voter ID is not just a women's issue, but obtaining a valid voter ID definitely targets women. Why? A woman who marries and takes her husband's name needs not to have only her birth certificate, but a marriage certificate. If she doesn't have it handy, she needs time, money, and some digging to get it. A woman who's divorced and retakes her maiden name is required to bring legal documents to prove that she's divorced. Heaven forbid if she's remarried a few times, the cost to vote could really add up. A woman is less likely to have served in the military. Thus, women lack one of the limited types of valid IDs acceptable under the photo ID law. And a woman lives longer than a man. Since 1 in 4 voters over 80 years old lack a valid photo ID, this proportionally impacts older women. Don't tread on our right to vote. Remove the restrictions, and to men and women, and you and me, we must do something. Amen.
We're going to continue with the voices from women.
That's right, women!
Can we hear it from the women? We know it takes both the women and the men, but we want to bring up Jasmine Scholark, chairperson of the Women's Outreach Committee for the Empowerment Movement.
Thank you very much. I'm here today not simply to speak in words, but to call for action. There are 2 scriptures, or particularly 2 books in the Bible that are named after women. The first one is called the Book of Esther, and the second one is called the Book of Ruth. And somebody often asks us, how come out of 66 books, there's only 2 books named after women? Because all you need is 2 powerful women to come together and make a tremendous difference. In the book of Esther, the Jews were struggling, they were facing injustice. And Mordecai spoke to Esther and says to Esther, who knows if you came to the kingdom for such a time as this? And after Esther prayed and fasted, she simply says to Mordecai, you pray for me, and remember, I'm going to see the king. And if I perish, let me perish. But we are here to declare that this is our time, this is our season, this is our hour. And if we perish, let us perish. But we are seeking justice for everybody.
Well, all right. Woo! Let my people vote! 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 All right. All right. Thank you. We gonna vote November the 6th, no doubt about it. Let's give my co-host a big round of applause in the red and white, Miss Marvetta Coleman. You know, it ain't no secret. This is strategic, this is well-funded, this is targeted, and this has got to stop. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you right now the president of the Pennsylvania NAACP, none other than Jerry Mondesai.
Good afternoon. Little better, good afternoon. I'm gonna take my glasses off to make sure they get to see my eyes. Because I'm not playing. And I hope that you're not playing. Because this is life and death. This is the future of our country. There's no more serious issue than the right to vote, as Senator Williams just told you. Is labor in the house? Is the NAACP in the house? We better be. We're 103 years old. We've been here a long time. Is the clergy in the house, Reverend Shine?
We may be old, but we look good.
We look real good. Because we've been here before fighting the same lie that the voter ID bill is based on. You young people out there don't remember the 60s. We fought the lie of Jim Crow and de facto segregation and de jure segregation. It was a lie then, and it is a lie now. The voter ID bill is based on a lie, and you hear me saying it, told by liars in this house and in the mansion. I say to you, and I want you to quote me directly, Tom Corbett is a liar. Tom Corbett is a liar. There is no voter ID fraud in Pennsylvania. There never has been a substantiated case by any prosecutor in the Commonwealth that the voter ID law would have stopped. The petty examples of fraud in Philly or Pittsburgh wouldn't have been stopped by the voter ID law. It was a lie then because they need it. They need it why? Because they can't win the election honestly. You saw what they did in Florida in 2000? That's why they're doing voter ID here. It is all about the politics. Turzai let the cat out of the bag when he said it. That if we get voter ID, we can win the state for our guy. That's why the NAACP joined the ACLU in this lawsuit that'll be heard tomorrow. And if it has to be appealed, we'll be there for the appeal. But as an earlier speaker said, whatever happens in the courthouse, you have got to remain vigilant on the streets between now and November 6th to make sure that every ID is given to every person who wants to vote and needs to vote. We can't play with this. It's too serious. We're not playing with it, and when we're not playing with something, we bring out our big guns. We bring out our best guns from Washington, D.C. We bring out the cannon, somebody just said. He's better than a cannon. He's a rocket grenade launcher, he's a tank, he's a cannon. He directs our Washington office. He knows the Attorney General, Gregory Holder, and that's one reason you saw in today's paper that the U.S. Justice Department is now investigating the state of Pennsylvania. One of our best and brightest at the NAACP helped make that possible. His name, Hillary Shelton. He is the director of the Washington office. I give you now the man himself, Hillary Shelton from the NAACP National Office.